Welcome to The Hustle with your host, myself, Ben Anderson. We are into 2022 and we're taking a whole different lane this year. I'm letting you guys in more into how my business is run, how I run my side hustles, and my projects and everything else that's under the hood. We talked in our initial podcast of this year about having time to make money for yourself on the side and how I've taken my career path a different angle. I'm doing home projects, home flips. I've immersed myself in really having multiple streams of income. And I'm going to show you guys how that all happened today. We also had a great podcast last time with Rocky May, who's an entrepreneur, started a mortgage bank and is killing it. So this channel is all about motivating you guys to see there's a level that you guys can get to if you have a really good plan. And I believe that if you have a passion for something that is not your 9 to 5, you need to have your 9 to 5 to be able to hold up your quality of life that you want, pay your bills, pay for school, for kids' sports, and all those things. And from there, if you really want to make it and have a side hustle, the side hustle is called a side hustle for a reason. The 9 to 5 has to pay the bills and pave the way for your lifestyle. That's your 9 to 5. Your 5 to 9, as we call it, or your 8 till 12, or your 10 till 2 a.m. If you really want to make the career choice a permanent side hustle, a career hustle, you have to be able to have the time on the side, sacrifice sleep, sacrifice these nights where you're not going out with certain friends and family because you want to build a business for the bigger and better good of your personal well-being. In today's podcast, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to start a side hustle, because I hear all the time, get out there and start a side hustle, but what does that mean? What are the steps to actually starting a business? I remember when I was in college, I had all these roommates who lived in Fullerton, California, and we had the time of our lives. You'd go out on the weekends, we'd be doing all these things, and we had 3 of my friends living in the house were actual college students. My friend Brian, Will, and myself, and we were juniors or seniors in college. And we had 2 brothers, I'll never forget it, Lane and Evan, live with us in the 2 spare rooms. We were broke, we needed the money, so we brought in 2 roommates. Well, these 2 brothers were our age, but didn't go to college, and they had side businesses. And I thought, man, it's impossible to know how to start a business. Yes, there's school, there's accounting principles and basics, but I'm talking about a course that tells you how to start a hustle. And these guys had a dad that owned businesses, so he showed them the way, and no one showed me the way. So in this episode, I'm going to show you guys how to start a business, how to launch your career. It's actually not that hard. There's 7 steps to starting a side hustle and starting a business. And I call it a side hustle because if you're under so much pressure that you have no income and no revenue, and you have to get your business up and running like tomorrow, you're going to make so many mistakes in starting this thing because all you're going to care about is making money because you got bills to pay. That can't be the way you start a successful business. You've got to be patient. So I don't care if you're working a 9 to 5 at a bank, working at a 9 to 5 at a coffee shop, get a regular stream of income going first. And then you can say what else you're passionate about, and you can give that other thing life, which is why it's called a side hustle. So let's jump in. I'm going to go through my 7 steps in starting a side hustle. The first step, you have to have a plan. You have to have a business plan. And it doesn't have to be some 7-page document that you draw up, because I've made these mistakes before, is you spend weeks and months on your business plan and you want to hammer out all these details. The fact of the matter in starting a business is you're not going to know what you need to know until you get going. It's like if you want to learn how to play tennis, you don't just read books for weeks and months and then go out there. No, you get the racket and you start hitting the ball and you figure it out on the way to figuring it out. If you want to learn how to swim, get in the water and swim. So part of starting a business is really understanding you have to get started. And just getting started is the first step. So when you come to writing a business plan, I look at a couple of basic things. How, when, and what. What, when, and how are the 3 things I want to and you can write this out in an hour. and then just get started. You don't need to have some download, go on Google and Google find a business plan. You find 7 pages and you write it out and it has to be perfect because it's going to change 55 times before you even get started. So it's about the what, the how, and the when. And the what is, what do you love to do? Do you love sneakers? Great, that's a business right there. Do you love music? Do you love finance? Do you love counseling or coaching or teaching or training? What do you love to do? Maybe it's apparel. Maybe, like I said before, it's music. Maybe you love creating content for people. So whatever you love to do is the what. It's what you're gonna do for a side hustle. Because once you realize that 5 to 9, you'll do that 5 to 9 all the time because you love doing it. You get up on the weekends, you get up early. If it's your business, you're so passionate about it, there's no time you won't do it. It's like if it's your kids, you want to hang out with your kids all the time. If you're a babysitter, you're like, all right, pick up your kid. I got places to go and people to see. Well, if it's your kid, if it's your baby, you're going to do that thing all the time. So find out what you love to do, and that's going to be your what. That's going to be what you're going to start. And in this example, I'm going to say what I love to do, and that's real estate. And I'm going to use my example as the example, and that's going to be the home flipping and the side home construction that we do. So that's going to be the what. The what for me is home design, home flipping, and going after real estate. Now the how. The how is how you get the money, because you can't get a business without money. You can't be broke as a joke and start a company. You can, but it'll take you years and years and years. So there's 4 ways you can fund your business. The first way is you can self-fund it off your main job. So let's say you're making $10,000 a month. You need, let's say take home is $10,000 a month. You need $8,000 a month to live on. So the $2,000 extra that you have that's extra income goes into your business until you grow in the business and you're making more money. That's why it's so important to have that main job. That main job is everything because that's how you self-fund your business. There's no more rewarding business than a self-funded business. The second way you can get your business funded is from like a bank, getting a loan, getting debt, getting credit cards. All those things are possible, but when you're doing that, you're repaying that at an interest rate that's going to cause your cash to be squeezed a little bit. Now, if you have to do that, I would go that direction, but that's the second best way to fund it. At least if you're getting a loan from a bank or using debt to fund your business, at least it's your debt. You don't owe somebody else any money that's a human being. The third way to fund a business is you hear people call friends and family money or raising friends and family capital. If you have a good idea, you say, look, I want to start doing home flips. I have a good idea. I've got a good team together. I've got a good concept. I think I can make good money. That's my plan. You could go to friends and family and say, will you help me fund my first flip? You can go on title with me. You can be a part of the project with me. You can help me get started. That's the third best way. And the fourth best way is raising capital, going out in the street. There's all these companies that'll help you place your investment idea in front of people looking to invest. But I'm going to caution you, when you start raising capital, you become more of a capital raiser than a business operator. So you can't truly be a great capital raiser and a business operator because you still have that 9-to-5 job that you have. And a lot of people are going to raise capital, quit their 9-to-5, and live off that capital that they've raised. But that's a slippery slope that gets you into just being a capital raiser and not truly a thoroughbred entrepreneur. So again, the business plan is the what, the how, and the when. The what is what are you going to do? The how is how are you going to fund it? You can either self-fund it, you can get a loan from the bank, you can get friends and family money, or you can raise capital. And the when is when are you going to get started? And the answer is today. What are you waiting for? And I'm going to show you how to get started in our next 6 steps. So the business plan is number 1. Number 2 is the business name. You have to choose a business name, and it doesn't have to be set in stone, but what is it going to be generally called? And so, our home flipping company, and you'll be hearing a lot more about this coming down the pike, is Montecito Home Design. And we are going to be designing homes and flipping real estate in Montecito for as long as we can. I'm married to the very best designer in the world, and she kills it, and she's awesome. And so we're taking her talents, and we're going to be doing this because we love it. It's our side hustle. So the name. So once you have the name chosen, then you can go ahead and get the name purchased. And so step number 3 is you want to go on what I use is just GoDaddy, and you just buy the domain. So find a domain that you like, and if yours is, let's say, Brandon Sneakerhead, because he's a sneakerhead and he wants to be selling sneakers and flip sneakers online, then you go to GoDaddy and you just simply type in BrandonTheSneakerhead.com. If it's available, you buy it. And if that domain is not available, try different variations of it. You can try taking out certain words or taking out how you spell certain things, or maybe .net is available. I recommend .com because it's the most recognizable, but you want to find a good business name and you want to buy that good business name. And so step number 2 is the business name. Step number 3 is the business domain. GoDaddy, buy it. It's usually $20-$30. If it's a crazy popular name, maybe it costs you a few hundred, but usually it's like $20-$30 a year to own that domain. And you buy the domain. And you don't need to get too far ahead of yourself and like start creating websites and all these things. One step at a time. Now you have to create the entity. And once you have the business name chosen, simply go to LegalZoom.com. It doesn't cost very much more than a couple of bucks. And if you're self-funding it, you're putting this in your budget, and you want to go ahead and make this name a corporation. People think starting a corporation takes months and weeks and years, and you need an attorney. That's not the way it is. It's super simple. You go on LegalZoom.com, you put in, and I would recommend if you're starting a corporation, I like an S corporation. If you're not planning on taking on a lot of partners, S corporations are great. There's a C corporation as well. And do your own research. Do your research between what kind of corporation or entity is best for you. Research S corporation, C corporation, and an LLC. And research those 3 things and see which of those 3 meet your business model the best. So now you've gone on, you've chosen the business name, you've reserved the business domain, and you've set up the corporation, and it takes 15 minutes to go on LegalZoom and form your corporation. Within 2 weeks, they're mailing you your corporation docs, and you're like, wow, I just started a business. So let's talk about those 4 steps right there, and now you have a business. And you're doing these things on the side hustle. Same thing I did with my home design company. With my wife, we built this on the side hustle. And soon that side hustle becomes your main hustle, and that's when you live your biggest dreams. So business plan, again, how are you going to fund it? What's it going to be called? When are you going to get started? That's the business plan. Super simple, super sweet, not too crazy. Business name, business domain is step number 3, and number 4 is you're forming the corporation. And now step number 5 is you want to grab all the social media handles, because that's where you're probably going to be flooding a lot of your content in as you build this business. And there's more to come down the road and helping you guys get your content out there. But I would look up Instagram, your business name, and Facebook. Definitely start a little bit of a YouTube channel. And you don't have to think too far down the road. Let's just reserve the names so you have these things. It's free to get them. And TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. Those are the 5 main ones right now that I would just get a name for and reserve those things for your business. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. Just grab the business names or as close to it as you can. Right? Now you have them. And the 6th step, now we're getting past what is just the formation part. So the first 5 steps I gave you is just forming the kind of company. Step number 6 and number 7 are where you just really get into making money. So 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, a month in, your corporation is formed. You don't have to get too far down the road and build a website and do all of this technology yet. That's gonna come. Let's start making money. If you have social media and you have some basic presence online, you can operate a business without a website these days. The website can become as your budget gets bigger. But the first thing is building a client list next. If you are going to be selling sneakers, then build a client list of people you know that like to buy sneakers. In my instance, let's say I wanted to be doing home design and home flips. I want to start building a list of clients, real estate agents that can find me properties, a list of homes that I want to start scouting, and just get your hands on clients. But build a list of potential candidates and then work on completing one transaction first. Get one done so you can see how it goes and see how you know it. And then sit back and say, okay, that's how you close a deal. That's how you make $1. That's how you sell a sneaker. That's how you flip a home. And then once you have some income and revenue and some wherewithal, then you can start to really accelerate the business. And I will teach you guys in the next upcoming couple of sessions how to take the business from just being started to being profitable and launching and killing it. But I just wanted today to give you guys the basics on how to get a side hustle started. Don't worry about things 2 years down the road. The key to starting a side hustle is starting a side hustle. That's all I got today. Thanks for watching, listening, and let's go crush it.